Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh man, welcome back to Light Work and Life Talk, the sacred space for Black women and women of color over 40, reclaiming power, purpose, and peace. Yes. And I am your gracious host, Allison Rozzel. I am a light worker, Reiki master, and a woman walking this sacred path right alongside you. Okay? I need y'all to know I am with you. So today's episode is for every woman in transition. The ones holding family, work, hormones, hot flashes, and healing all at once. So let's talk about what it really means to navigate this time and how we can bring in some spiritual rituals to ground and support us. So, this is something that I've been kind of wanting to talk about because every time I am scrolling on like TikTok, I see these younger women who are fussing about us older women, and how we're not doing whatever it is they want us to do for them. Usually it's babysit, but you know. Um, and it's interesting because I don't think a lot of people who are not in this phase of life or have never gone through this phase of life don't really understand what's really happening to us right now. Excuse me, there's so many different things. We're usually feeling like very stretched thin. And, between having grown kids, aging parents, our hot flashes that are out of control, the full time jobs that we're working, and just this so deep desire for more. And I just want you to know you're not alone because I'm right there with you. And I need my women that are listening to this to understand you're not alone in this. That's first. But the biggest thing is I need you to get is you're in transition. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're not invisible because I see you. I see you, goddess. I see you. You're just becoming. So let's go a little further in this. Despite how a lot of us have been raised to always push and push and push through, um, this season of our lives, it isn't asking us to push harder. It's really not because it's been hard enough. Okay, what this season, this period of our lives, this era of our lives, is inviting us to go deeper, to root deeper. So, this episode is an invitation for you to slow down, tune in, and make space for sacred rituals that honor where you are right now in life. Let's all just kind of take a breath right there. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And let's just do like John Legend said, take it slow. Okay? Just a moment. Now, of course, me being me, I pulled a card for us to kind of set the tone for the whole this episode. What's interesting is this is a card that I've pulled, I think, before for us. And I think Spirit is really trying to tell us something. So I need you to really, really listen. Okay. I need you to really, really listen. So I pulled from the Faces of Oshun Oracle deck by Abiola Abrams. And we pulled card number 29, Oshun the Scandalous. And the words on this card say brazen, audacious, fearless. And again, I've pulled this card on here before. I know I have. I'm gonna have to go back. But I really feel like that card has come up for us before. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with a little reminder. So I'm gonna read in the guidebook about this card, and then we're gonna jump into this topic. All right. All right. Excuse me while I adjust here. All right. So let them talk, baby. Let them talk. I'm repeating that because I need y'all to understand that. In many timelines and cultures, it is scandalous for the divine feminine to be bold, brazen, and fearless. You are being called to lean into this energy. This is the energy of the well-behaved woman. The well-behaved women seldom make history. Oshun the Scandalous comes bearing a message of empowerment and fearless action. She invites you to step boldly into your personal power, unapologetically and embracing your desires, dreams, and ambitions. This is not a time for hesitation or self doubt. It's a time for audacious moves and unflinching self assurance. Unflinching self assurance. And there's an affirmation. I embrace every part of who I am. Every woman over 40 should be always affirming that. I embrace every part of who I am. Even if you still don't really know who you are. Just go ahead and who you are right now. Just embrace her. Just embrace her. So let's just go ahead and jump on into this. So in this transition phase of our lives, this part of our lives where, like I said, we've got the aging parents, we've got kids that are starting their own families. Let's bring in the reality of this phase. And I want you to name it. Name this phase for yourself, but don't do it in a negative light. Do it in a positive light. Because again, this is a transition. So again, you might be caring for your aging parents while your kids are starting their own families, their own lives. I personally don't have grandchildren. I have a grand dog. And I love my grand dog. I spoil my grand dog. I've been thinking of things that I want to buy for him. His name is Aries. He is a bully pit mix, and he is the sweetest of sweet. And I just could not love him more. But right now, my son, he's like, I'm just not interested in having kids right now. You know what? I commend him for that. I commend him for that. That's all right. That's all right. But some people have grandchildren that they love and adore. Um, and I do look forward to that day if it ever happens for me. But it's rough. It's rough holding down all this stuff. We have our demanding jobs and we're managing menopause symptoms. Lord have mercy. Hot flashes, night sweats, mood swings, fluctuating weight. We gain some weight, we lose some weight. We lose some weight, we gain some weight. Everything's in our midsection. We can't remember stuff. We go into a room and we were literally saying, okay, I'm going to pick up a book when I go into this room. And once you get into that room, you're like, okay, now what did I come in here for? Our eyesight is changing. Our taste in like food and music and clothing and everything else. Like I used to love looking at like heels and uh what is it like, I don't think it's called a platform, but it's the chunky heels that have just like a little bit more support. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Wedges, that's the word. See what I'm talking about, what menopause is doing to my brain? Wedges. I love wedges. I still love them. But I tell you what, at this phase of my life, comfortable shoes are my best friend. I'm just saying. That's what I want. Cute, yet comfortable shoes is more of an interest. than me finding a pair of wedges. I still would like some wedges, but they gotta be comfortable. They gotta be comfortable. And then we're also trying to maintain our spiritual practices and a career while our energy is inconsistent. It's all over the place. We're feeling the soul pull us to like step into the light, our light, step into our purpose. And we're also wondering if it's too late, because that's also another thing that, I really want to remind those of us, especially those of us who are later 40s and into 50s, maybe even 60s. Peace to the goddesses that are of that age that listen to me. Um, yeah. So let's talk about some well-known women who got a later start in life. And some of these you may know their story already, and some of them you might not. So we have somebody like Vera Wang. Vera Wang, she launched her bridal design business at 40 after careers in figure skating and journalism. Vera Wang got started. Who does not love a beautiful Vera Wang gown? I have no plans of marrying anybody right now. But I will tell you, I love looking at a beautiful Vera Wang gown. I just do. I think they're gorgeous. Then there's Martha Stewart. We all know Martha Stewart, right? Well, she didn't gain widespread recognition for her book Entertaining until she was 40. Let that sink in for a minute. Martha Stewart didn't hit her stride until she was 40, well into her 40s, to be honest. Then there's Julia Child. She didn't learn how to cook or become the famous French chef until after her 40s. She turned 40. Then there's Anna Wintour. We know Anna Wintour, right? She gives us all the the Vogue styles. She got started at 39. Ava DuVernay, and I hope I'm saying her name because I always kind of butcher it. But the famous director. She didn't pick up a camera until she was 32, and she wasn't recognized for her directing until she was 41. Then you have someone that might be a little lesser known, Robin Chase. She's the co-founder of Zipcar. Have you heard of Zipcar? She didn't start that until 42. And then she co-founded another tech startup company in her 50s, Bette Midler. I know y'all know Bette Midler, but she actually didn't become a household name until she was in her 40s. Jane Lynch. She wasn't well known in Hollywood until she took the role on the show Glee, and she was 51. She was 51. Brene Brown, her viral TED Talk, and all her books. She didn't get catapulted into like a motivational speaker, talking person. She didn't do all this until she was in her mid 40s. And then we have the incomparable, my birthday twin, Viola Davis. Yes, Viola Davis and I share a birthday. And I think about that all the time. And I freaking love that I share a birthday with Viola Davis. She didn't get her stride in acting in her breakthrough role. Now, I do remember her uh, being the defense attorney on Law and Order SVU. If y'all ever go back and watch those, that's Miss Viola playing that role. But she didn't really hit her stride till she was 43. So you see what I'm saying? A lot of us are or have spent so much of our lives trying to measure where we should be by a certain age. Because I remember when I was young, I had my life mapped out. You know, can't wait to turn 16. Then you can't wait to turn 18 because you think, oh, now I'm considered an adult. Then you can't wait till you turn 21 because you can legally drink. Yeah, you see where my priorities were, right? Then you think by 21, you're supposed to be doing this. Then by the age of 25, you're supposed to be doing this. Then by the time you hit 30, you should be this way. so on and so forth. Toni Morrison, she did not get any of her recognition for like writing and have like a breakthrough until she was after 40. Kathy Bates, she won her first um, Academy Award at 42. And from Misery, because that's where she what she got it for, and I love that freaking movie to this day. Because she was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She really was. And she played that role well. Oh so well. And I love Kathy Bates down. I love her. But then let's talk about this particular goddess, Iris Apfel. Now that's a name that you might or you might not know. But this particular woman, she was in interior design, and she became a mainstream fashion icon in her 80s and 90s because she was known for being very flamboyant in her style. And you might think of her as this elder woman that had these beautiful, she always had these really iconic like eyeglasses of different colors and stuff. They were really big, but she just always looked just like she just stepped right out of a bandbox. She was just like fierce. And she got a modeling contract with IMG at 97. 97. One more and then we'll move on. But I'm just trying to show you that it's never too late. It's never too late. This transition, this part of our lives, man, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. Another example, the beautiful queen that was on the movie Black Panther, the elder that sat on in like the council, and she was the elder there. Um, I think that was like her first gig, and she was in her 80s or 90s. I mean, like, and think about how big and iconic Black Panther was and still is. So yeah, it's not too late. It's not. We might be wondering if it is too late for us, but it's not. It's not. So when we're going through this phase, understand that all of the things that we're doing, all of the things that we have that we're juggling and everything else, this phase of our life is not weakness. It's not. It's sacred labor. All the things that we're doing is sacred labor, and it's life's initiation. But we have to learn how to put ourselves first. So let's talk about what this transition is spiritually. So this transition, this time in our lives, is a soul gateway. So it's the threshold between who you've been all your life to who you're becoming right now. That's why it's so interesting. I remember I think it was on a somebody had this on their TikTok live, and they were saying that menopause, when we get into like perimenopause, menopause, that phase of life, this phase of life is like puberty 2.0. And I love that analogy because think about how it was when we went through puberty. If we can remember, that was a very interesting part of life because, I mean, we were growing in places that, we knew eventually we would, right? Our hips started spreading, boobs started sprouting out. We started our menstrual cycles. Um, we started noticing boys or girls, whichever, Um, but these are the things that started happening. And a lot of it, we were like, what's going on in my body? My body feels different. Everything is different. I don't feel like that little girl anymore. You know what I'm saying? So think about it like that. in this period of life, right? Where we're transitioning from one point of our lives where we're building families, we're, working these jobs because we're trying to keep food on the table. For those of us who are, um, and were single mothers, um, and even if you weren't single, aren't single, two income households, trying to keep that up so that bills can be paid, you know things can be done to take care of the family, so on and so forth. Well, see, now with your children being grown, if you have children, children being grown, parents are aging, you're aging, you know aging gracefully and beautifully, by the way. I'm just saying, because I told you I see you. But yeah, all these things are happening in our lives, and it's like, wow. And I know for me, sometimes I'm like, man, it just feels like a lot sometimes, right? Sometimes it feels like a lot. But yeah, this is that transition. This is the crone initiation. And that is a deeply spiritual phase in many African and global traditions, symbolizing wisdom, vision, and radical authenticity. So we're having this call to let go of being everything to everybody and finally choosing yourself. Because now you actually have the time, I guess, if you want to put it that way, to do that. But we have to make that time. We have to commit that to ourselves, right? Because the time ain't going to just show up, because life is going to continue to life. But we have to make it a point to put ourselves first. I've shared with you all before how I was having a talk with my therapist, and she was like, so at what point in your life will you choose you? She was like, this is a time where, you've got to put you first because your health, physical health is dependent on it, but also your mental and emotional health is dependent on it. Your spiritual health is dependent on it. She was like, so many aspects of your life are depending on you to put you first. So then you start thinking about things like filling your own cup. And what we're supposed to be giving to everyone is the overflow from our cup. What we're supposed to be filling our cup with are the things that fill us up, the things that make us feel happy, good, whole, right? And we can fill our cups by continuing to do ritual and spiritual practices, mindfulness practices for ourselves, doing physical activities that keep us active, like moving your body. I'm now at a point where I am, I finally got myself to the point where I want to move my body. I want to move my body. I want to make sure that I'm always moving, getting my exercise in, getting my steps in, dancing, lifting, weights with like my kettlebells or my dumbbells, or using like my resistance bands or whatever, getting some kind of exercise in, dancing. Like I said, I love to dance. I love to dance. you know um I love taking walks. Sometimes I'll walk really fast, and then sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's kind of a stroll. But even in that excuse me, with the stroll, I might take a little bit longer in the walk, walk a little bit further because I know I'm strolling. But these things don't just affect me physically. They also affect my mental health. My mental health is actually better when I take the time to move my body. So let's talk about 7 sacred rituals for us women who are in transition. I can't talk today, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm just it's that I'm blaming menopause. I'm blaming menopause. but it's transition. Because I know what I'm trying to say, but it's like the words just don't want to happen. And I'm like, okay, let's stop this. So let's start with the root chakra. This is a grounding into this new season ritual. So sit barefoot on earth for 5 minutes. Visualize roots growing from your feet and say, I am supported. I am safe. I belong. Now, if you don't want to go outside and sit on the ground, do this in the house, sit on the floor. Put a nice pillow on the floor. I bought me a really cute pillow on the Zon that I use to sit down and do my meditations when I do my videos and I'm recording and stuff. Sit on this pillow. It's very comfortable. It's a big pillow too. One day I'm gonna show it off, but I'm always sitting on it, so it's kind of hard. However, yeah, get you a really nice meditation pillow. Sure, you could use like a regular pillow, but this one, it kind of holds its form a little bit better than like a regular pillow that you use like on your bed. That's just my opinion. Um, but while you're doing this, you can burn some cedar wood, some cedar or frankincense. Um, you could also drink some grounding tea like ginger, dandelion. Um, you can use some essential oils. Use cedar wood, which I love. I love using cedar wood when I'm doing grounding work. What I do is I just take it and get my carrier oil, my cedar wood essential oil, and I just rub the bottom of my feet really well. And then I do just like what I just told you, sit and just visualize roots growing either from your feet. Sometimes what I prefer to teach people is imagine roots are growing from your tailbone because that's like actually where your root chakra is. Imagine it growing from your tailbone because it's you're sitting down to the earth and feel rooted that way. But you can also do rooting, like if you're standing on earth and feel roots from your feet. That works too. So then the sacral, let's say this is reclaiming joy and pleasure. And of course, sacral chakra. So in this ritual, you want to create a pleasure list. You want to create a list of 10 simple things that bring you joy and commit to doing one of those things every single day. Now, this does not have to be complicated, y'all. Please don't overcomplicate this stuff. Keep it simple. Keep it simple and keep it sacred. So if let's say reading a book, and by the way, I'm totally reading on Audible Kamala Harris's new book, 107 Days. So far, I am like so entrenched in this. I cannot wait to buy the hard copy. But yeah, it's a good book. And I'm gonna have a whole thing where I talk about that book. Once I finish it, we gonna hash that book out because there's some stuff in there that I really want to talk about. But anyway, yeah, make a pleasure list. Things that you enjoy, things that bring you joy, that make you happy, you know, and just commit to doing those things. If sitting on your front porch, drinking your coffee in the morning brings you joy, commit to doing that. Don't skip it. Let that be a ritual that you do every single day for yourself. If going for a nice long walk brings you joy, do it. If eating a piece of dark chocolate after you have dinner brings you joy, then do that. Now, am I saying eat a piece of dark chocolate every day? No. But do it for yourself every now and then. Whatever it is that's on that pleasure list, just commit to allowing yourself those things that bring you joy. Now, something you can do also to support is to dance. In particular, move your hips. This opens up your sacral so much. Doing dances that open up your hips, that move your hips, like the circulature of like moving your hips. Move your hips from side to side, front to back. Honey, twerk. If you can twerk, twerk it. Move your body. And then drink something orange, like some orange juice, or if you have like a tea that you can make that would have like an orange to it. Like you can slice up some orange and steep that with some cinnamon sticks. That's really good. Put a little clove in there. Oh my God. So you're working on not just the sacral, but the root as well with those things. But yes, that will be good. Or you can make you some hibiscus tea. That is really good as well. You can take some sensual baths. My suggestion would look for um, flowers, herbs, or oils that are really steeped in like femininity. So something like jasmine, magnolia. You can also use ylang ylang. Ylang ylang, let me tell y'all, come in close to the and listen. Ylang ylang is an aphrodisiac. If you want to feel rawr, use ylang ylang. Either like anoint um your womb space with ylang ylang. Um, you can also diffuse that oil in a diffuser. Put it in your bath. Um, all these different uses. But ylang ylang is that girl. Trust me when I say that. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm just putting it out there. She's that girl. All right, move on. All right. So the solar plexus, this ritual would be reclaiming your energy and voice. So you're going to light a yellow candle and then you're going to write a list of what drains your energy and a list of what restores it. Then you're going to burn or bury what never, what no longer serves you. I can't even read my own notes. So you're going to burn it. Good gracious, y'all. Struggling. You're going to burn it or bury it. What no longer serves. So that list of what is draining your energy, you're going to burn it or you're going to bury it. Now, if you burn, please do it safely. Please do it safely. Please don't do anything reckless that you would like burn your house down. Okay. Do this in a safe area and a safe way. If you do not feel comfortable with burning that list, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, bury it. Or what I've done is write it out, tear it up, step on it, and then throw it away. But when you throw it away, it's not in a trash receptacle that is still in your house. Take it and literally get rid of it. Get it out of your house immediately. Like as soon as you're done, get rid of it. Don't let it linger in your house because then you're keeping the energy around you, even though you've thrown it away. Does that make sense? So you can use some essential oils like lemon or rosemary, and you can wear gold or yellow. Now, rosemary is also that girl, but she's that girl that's gonna protect you. So rosemary is a really good protection oil. Um, but she's also very empowering. Because she's like, girl, I don't know what you think this is, but we stronger than that. We better than that. We manifesting stuff. You are abundant. You can also use rosemary when manifesting. Just saying. The heart ritual, grieving what you're releasing, or just allowing yourself to grieve. What you're going to do is write a letter to your younger self, read it aloud, cry if you feel the need to cry, and allow yourself to cry. Allow yourself to feel. Then I want you to fold it into a heart shape and place it under your pillow or on your altar. Now, with this, you can have some rose tea, have a crystal like green aventurine. You can give yourself some hugs, play some soft, loving music. For the throat, speaking the new you. Yes, speaking the new you. So for the throat, you're going to stand in front of a mirror and say aloud, I am becoming a new version of myself and I love her already. Yes, I am becoming a new version of myself and I love her already. This reminds me of what I had posted about my weight loss journey, of me embracing my body the way it is right now, rather than waiting to embrace and love her when I've lost the weight that I want to lose. This is the same thing. It's learning to embrace who you are right now, as well as who you are becoming in this new phase of your life, and just loving who you are completely. So you can have blue stones like lapis lazuli, sodalite. If you have singing bowls, play your singing bowls. You can chant, and journaling. For your third eye, we're trusting your intuition. So for this, before you go to bed, ask your higher self for a dream message. Keep a dream journal. Now, you can do that. I would advise that if you're going to do that, have like some amethyst around. You can put it under your pillow. Um, Also, make sure you're doing some deep breathing, right? Do some breath work to go along with that when you start. Um, Before you ask, take some deep breaths, clear your energy, and then ask your higher self for a dream message. Especially if you've been looking for confirmation on something, that's a good way to get it. It's just ask your higher self to give you that. Um, you can also, and I've tried this before, um, and I learned this from my mentor, Abiola Abrams. You can also ask for confirmation in a dream through like colors. So if you dreamed in color, you can say, if such and such is for me, let me dream the color green. If it's not, then let the color be red. So I choose those colors because green means go and red means stop. That's the only reason why I've chosen those. But you can choose whatever color you want, but that can just help. So you can have mugwort tea, amethyst. I already told you to have your amethyst. Um, Candle gazing. You can do candle gazing or meditation to kind of go along with this, because basically what you're doing, again, this is a ritual. And lastly, for the crown, returning to divine connection is what this is about. So you're going to sit in silence each morning for 3 to 5 minutes with the affirmation, I am guided, I am divine, I am whole. And for this to support what you're doing, you can have some frankincense. You can use either the essential oil frankincense, which I love Frank. I really do. Frank is my boo thing. And I need to get some more. He kind of expensive though. But I love him for great many reasons. I think I might do an episode also talking about essential oils and how to actually use them instead of just diffusing them. There's so many other things that you can do with essential oils. So if that's something you might be interested in, let me know. But anyway, frankincense, lavender. Lavender, yes. And incidentally, lavender can be used also with the third eye and with the heart. Okay. So lavender is kind of, she's open for a few of your energy centers. But yeah, lavender. Stillness, let that be a theme, and let gratitude also be a theme within you sitting in those 3 to 5 minutes when you're doing that affirmation. So, the point of all of this is you, my sister, do not have to do it all. You don't have to hold everyone. You don't have to rise every day and feel strong. Think about what you can do when it comes to your home, to your body. Excuse me. Think about what can you do? What can you do to hold yourself, to take care of you, to come home to your spirit? And I want you to remember this season isn't your ending, it's your becoming. Yeah, take a deep breath. It's your becoming. This is a season of you becoming a softer version of your strength, a deeper version of your truth. Now, if you're in need of support, you don't have to walk alone. You can always book a Reiki healing session, an oracle card reading, or you can book both. I happen to have a combo that I offer where you can have a Reiki healing session along with a reading. So I'm going to put my link tree, as I always do, in the show notes. And what I've done is I've taken all three of those offerings and pushed them to the top. So that way you don't have to hunt and search for them, because I know I got a lot going on my link tree. But I have that there. And I would be honored to hold space for your healing and becoming. So again, I want you to remember, you're not just aging, you're ascending. I want you to keep glowing, keep becoming, and I will see you next time on Lightwork and Life Talk. Have a beautiful week, beautiful day, just a beautiful time. Sending you love. Bye for now.